I look at my first three kids, and yeah, I remember like one of your questions was like, what are the things I'm most proud of?
Yeah, that's
Which I
yeah,
could
coming up.
cry. But my first three older children are really good. And I know that's a result of me, you know, as hard as I was, and the lessons that I learned, and they got spankings for sure. But like them being awesome parents, I know that I was very instrumental in that, especially with my girls, because they didn't really have their dad. They had outside family, but in the home every day was me. And
Yeah.
so like that that's a good feeling. That brings a lot of joy to me, that I have awesome children that are on the right path. I have a grandchild. My daughter's going to be a physical trainer. My son's leaving for the Air Force next month and just got
Wow.
married. And so I have some great children. And to see them as adults, knowing what we went through as kids when they were kids, that's a good feeling too. So yeah, so I'm blessed, and that takes you a long way every day,
Yeah,
for sure.
for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
How do you decide to show up for the world when you wake up? What do you actually make a physical choice when you wake up?
Sorry, I have to plug in my phone.
It's fine.
Um, Let me plug in my phone real quick.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I do use my essential oils. Those are really grounding, and I think just set the tone for like where I need to be throughout my day mentally.
Yeah.
Um, but then also I feel like, okay, there we go. Um, Knowing that I have like control over my day, and those two things I think are really, really big. I control my day. I control, my emotions. I can't control some of the outside things that happen,
Mhm.
like what may come up at work or traffic. I'm always like 10 minutes late.
Ah,
But I can control my emotionally how I deal with that. And I
at
think
work
that's
or
really big.
traffic. Yeah, always like 10
So
minutes late. I totally get
yeah.
that. 100%.
So
Um, as far as those essential oils that you're talking about, what is your what do you have planned? What are you doing as far as I've heard you talk about helping women. I've heard you talk about essential oils. I've heard you talk about staying home and making money and kind of having your husband at work. What do you have going on? What are your future plans?
Um, well, it's a lot, but I try to take baby steps every day to get there. Um, I be, I've used essential oil for about 8 years, but last year I made a decision to become intentional with it and share. So I do have a Facebook page called Aroma Life, and I have an Instagram page called Aroma Life LA, and
Okay.
that's solely about oil education. And so I do different things on that. Um, I incorporated crystals as well. So I have a page for crystals called Kaylani's Crystals. It's named after my daughter. Her name is Kaylani. So it's Kaylani's Crystals with two Ks. So those are kind of just like little additives. But what I really hope to do one day is, last year, one of my steps to become more how I want to serve women and just serve the community that I think I understand most, which is single moms.
Yeah.
Because even though I'm not one, for more of my life than not, I've been a single mom, is building a community where I help them parenting, with essential oils, with crystals, healing. Um, I do want to like write a course. I don't know if it's a parenting course yet. I'm not sure. I haven't figured that out, but building my community and how I serve. And last year I did get certified in a technique called aroma freedom, and that's using essential oils to clear negative thoughts, feelings, and memories, and help us with setting goals and our dreams. And it's very powerful. Just like I've said earlier, essential oils are powerful. And so when you incorporate essential oils with this technique and the steps that go along with it, it's powerful,
Wow.
and you see change. And so incorporating like all those things in serving women, that's like a goal of mine. Um, Going into like school systems and incorporating the aroma freedom technique or rehabs, because I think I can relate to transformation. And so I really like to see when people, come from one place and they transform to something else through
Yeah.
choices and, intentional choices. But we all need that extra support. And so I've learned that essential oils for me have been like instrumental in that. And that's how I found the aroma freedom technique. And so, using that and building my community. I do have a website now. I've completely put it together myself, which is a lot of hard work, but I'm proud of it. And it's still under a little bit of construction, but I do give it out because I'm still proud of what's there. And there are ways to reach me even through the website. It's aromalifela.com. That's my website.
Okay.
Um, yeah. And so through the website, it takes you to my Facebook page, which I did also start another Facebook page, Resilient and Thriving Single Mothers. Um, so I don't even remember how you and I connected. I was trying to tell someone today, and I'm like, I don't remember how we connected, but I saw her and maybe commented on a few things, you know. But networking, and that's how you build your community. And
Yeah.
so um, since I've gone back to work, it's slowed down a little bit in the amount of time that I'm, trying to put things together, but I know I'll get there. And so,
Mhm.
just taking baby steps every day to follow my heart and serve in the way that I feel I've been called, which is, again, to me, single mothers, because that's who I've been the most,
Yeah.
is a single mom. So
Absolutely.
that's kind of the things that I'm working on now. So I have a 3-year goal to leave my department and, hopefully make money, be it my home or even if I go out and help other clients, it's on my own terms. And that's very
Yeah.
powerful, opposed to being connected to, you got to do this and you got to do that. But it's been great. I mean, my being in my department and, having a retirement and having medical and dental insurance like that, those are priceless too.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for what I still have, and I can keep that while I try to incorporate where my heart is now.
Awesome. Awesome. So,
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. If anyone should be in this space that you're looking to get into, it should be you. And I'd
Thank
love to,
you.
after this is done, have you send me all of those links and everything so that I can put them under the video so people can, click easily and find you, and look into, all of the awesome things that you're providing and that you're giving back to your community. Absolutely brilliant. I do want
Thank
to
you.
ask you a question. We're coming to the end here, and with all of the life experience that you have, what would be some advice that you would give to a 20-year-old, 28-year-old woman who has a couple kids and is just straight up struggling emotionally and mentally? What could you say to her?
Oh gosh, use resources that are out there, free childcare, welfare. Use anything free that you can get, because there's a lot of resources out there for single mothers specifically that are low income, because that's what I was too when I worked in a restaurant for 15 years, just about. So use the resources out there. You're going to have to put in the work to find them. But I know here in Los Angeles, California, there's a lot of them. And I would imagine that there's a lot of resources in other towns and cities as well. But use the resources that are out there for single mothers. And there's lots of different ways to look that up. Anybody can reach out to me, and I'm willing to help. I think that's necessary. And also then take help, when, if you have that grandparent who's willing to help, you have the girlfriend, you don't have to be so, oh no, I don't, I understand people have like trust issues with their kids, but if it's watching them in their house, or take the help, take the help that someone's willing to give you, to do homework, to go out
Yeah.
and take a breath. Um, so those things I think are really important, to get the help, the support, talk to your friends, even if you're not in the same place, we all need to cry and let it out sometimes, and do that. It's okay to just cry. And sometimes it's not about feeling sorry for yourself, but like it's overwhelming. And to realize that it's overwhelming, accept it, but then, you wipe your tears off, you get back up, because you got to get up tomorrow morning, but
Yeah.
you do it, and to keep going every day, because it does get easier. Every day that you work at something, it gets easier. There is
Yeah.
that light at the end of the tunnel of like, you'll graduate soon, or you're gonna get a job that does lead somewhere that's awesome. And once you're there, you can look back and you're like, oh, that was hard, but now look where I am. So remembering that there is better, especially when
Yeah.
you're taking the steps to get there. So use your resources, feel your emotions, ask for help, reach out to other communities, again, with social media, Facebook, Instagram, there's all, single mom groups, and looking for love, whatever it is, there's groups and resources of people that are just like you.
Yeah.
And I think, that's important too, because then you're not the only one going through it, believe it or not. So using the resources, going through your emotion, knowing that it gets better, and that, you'll turn around in 10 years and be like, gosh, I did it.
Yeah.
And and look at how much awesome you did in between then. So I would think that, and it's okay to have down days where, like I said, the dishes don't get done,
Yeah.
the laundry doesn't get done, you go to sleep with the dirty house sometimes, like that's okay. When you don't have the energy, it's okay.
Yeah.
So I would think if I heard that every day, then it might have been a little easier. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. So
So
those of you
I would think
listening,
that,
this is so for those of you listening, that's your the cue right there to put this podcast on repeat every morning.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yoga, meditation, I
Yeah.
love doing yoga. Finding a natural approach to some healing too it was good. I was in therapy for a long time as well. So, there's, be willing to learn new ways, because there's always new ways to learn things, even at 42. So definitely at 28, you're not the same person. So be open to new things, and learning new ways, and educating yourself in different ways, and trying new things, and failing sometimes as well.
Yeah.
Not, I wouldn't even use failing, but it not happening how you thought, and not being
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good
So
point. I totally agree with that. And I love this story. Um, Absolutely so powerful. This is the kind
oh,
of
thank
stuff
you.
that needs to be told, because you feel when you're in that position, and you're all by yourself, you feel hopeless sometimes, you know? You feel like it's never going to end. And hearing stories like this, I mean, this would have brought me so much hope, so much hope. And I just have the
Oh,
one, I just have the one. And, being able to hear this and say, wow, she had four, she had five, and she was doing it and going to school and doing this. And so powerful, so powerful. And I certainly hope that, you're doing your best to share that story with as many people as possible, because people need to hear this. Women, single mothers, there's so many of them, need to know that it's going to be messy and it's going to be a struggle and you're going to cry, but turning back, and 42 years old, and now you have the world at your fingertips, and you've got more things, more goals, more dreams that
yeah,
you're fighting for. And that's what it is. That's what it is. It's just continuing to get up and being resilient. Absolutely.
yeah.
I love
Well,
it.
thank you. I appreciate that a lot.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
warms my heart for sure.
Yeah. I'm very proud of
Right.
you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It's you don't see it in yourself, but don't make me cry. I'm a crier. If you cry, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that because we do need to hear that. And sometimes you don't think that you're doing a lot, even though others can see that you are.
Yeah.
So because it's just what you do and what you know.
Yeah.
So that thank you for that because we do need to hear that. Women do need to hear that for sure. So that's why in helping like two of my girlfriends that are kind of like in the mix of it right now, I check on them. I always tell them it's okay. Give yourself some grace, like
Yep.
it's going to be okay. Like you're doing good. Because that is important to hear. That kind of helps us get up the next day for sure.
Yeah.
So thank you for
Absolutely.
those words. That's
Absolutely.
special.
Absolutely.
That's
And just
special.
the fact that, your children, turned out awesome, and they now have you as just a wonderful role model. Um, it's just brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant.
Thank
So
you.
thank you so much for, taking some time out of your day and sitting down and sharing your story. I so appreciate you. Um, is there any
Thank
closing
you for
words that
having
you,
me.
of course, is there any closing words that you want to say before I close up?
Um, to whoever's watching, you're doing good. The fact that you took the time, you knew the topic, and you heard what the show was going to be about, and were intentional about watching the show. Thank you for listening to my story, but know that you're doing good. You get up every day and you do your job. Let that bring you some peace. You got up in the morning, and from the time you went to bed, you were busy working towards the next day. You that's the best that you could do, and that's great, and that's all you need to do. And so, be good to yourself. Give yourself some grace. You're doing a great job, and trust me, your children see it
Yeah.
even when they're 5, 10, 15, when they're 26, 23, and 20, and they're doing fantastic, and they can tell you, how good you did it, as hard as you were, your kids see it and they know. And so, you're doing good. And you'll hear it from them, and then you'll remember, yeah, I did do good. So no, you're doing good, you're doing well. And to anybody who's listening, they can reach out. I'm here to talk because we all need that, like I said. So I'm here, I'm open, I'm free. It's 5, 10, 20 minutes out of a day is a very small part of a day to help somebody that just needs to vent or whatever. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for having me and reaching out to me, and giving me this platform to share. Because
Of course.
even me, so I'm not. it's just my story. It's just my life. To me, it doesn't look like it's this grand thing. So to feel like maybe I do give hope to somebody is special for me. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. You
Thank you.
are and do and all the things. So
Thank you.
I appreciate that. For those of you that are just joining us, make sure you watch this on replay. If it resonates with you, share it. If you know of anyone who has a similar storyline, this is the type of stuff. These are the powerful stories that need to get shared, that need to go around to be able to give hope, because there are people out there that are struggling right now, whether it's single mom or whether it's in an abusive relationship, that are feeling down right now. And, hearing something like this is what gives them hope. So thank you so much for joining us here on Her Version.
Thank
If you
you.
have an amazing story to share of struggle to triumph, be sure to reach out to me here or on herversion.life. I am your host, Sabrina Victoria, and I am so grateful to be here sharing a platform that allows people to share their truth and inspire others. Have an amazing day. Much love.
Much love.